Hey, Angus. Wow.
Hey,
Do it.
Can you
Lots of riffs.
I like if you.
when you play the guitar, I really like it, and I wanted to do this for this movie.
I wanted it like 120 beats per minute.
Yeah.
Very 4 to the floor.
Fall to the floor.
I'm ashamed of myself. I couldn't really break into an Arnold.
No, I can't at all. I don't know what that was.
Taught myself.
Here, we'll just write it on a piece of paper. And we'll just hand them over to AJ, and he'll do them for us.
Sean's
No,
probably better
no.
at Arnold than I am.
No,
I'll be
I'm not
honest with you.
doing that.
Yeah, no.
Nice.
Well, hello there. Welcome to a brand new episode of The Confused Breakfast. Should I stop saying podcast?
Thanks for having me. Oh,
It's good to be here.
So, we met a long time ago, and how's that working for you? Anyway, do you remember the... Listen, we've turned into an interview podcast.
How's that?
How's that working?
How is
dude,
being
pretty
my
good
friend?
actually. It's funny. Last time we got together was when was it?
I think it was like a week ago, remember? And
Yeah.
we said, oh, man, we should... people should hear our conversations.
Dude, I couldn't agree more.
I'm so bored right now.
Do you remember the pure joy of a trip to the video rental store as a kid?
Yeah.
Sure is hard to beat the ease of the modern era and streaming platforms where you don't even have to leave your couch. But there was something truly special about heading to Blockbuster, picking out a movie called The Girl of My Dreams, and watching it when you got home.
Nice.
Watching it. On this podcast, we revisit and dissect some of our favorite childhood movies from that magical era to see if they still move us the way they did as kids. I'm your host, Mike Schulte. Joining me, as always, two dudes who never stay in the car when I tell them to. Sean Pryor and AJ Venz, how the heck are you?
Well, I mean, FOMO. I have it, and
He might need me.
I'm not afraid to show it.
Rubber baby buggy bumpers. Ha! You didn't know I was gonna say that, did you?
You say that all the time.
Oh yeah, I do.
Well, boys, on today's movie, we discuss the most expensive film of 1993, a movie with quite possibly the largest list of acting credits and cameos that we have ever done.
Yeah.
A movie that was apparently Stanley Kubrick's favorite film.
Yep.
Up there.
Way to ruin that for me.
Well, no, you get to talk more about that because I have so many questions. The only film that makes Arnold Schwarzenegger say the word fart, to my knowledge.
Yeah.
We're, of course, talking about 1993's The Last Action Hero.
Well, dang it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for another nostalgic journey to the past with The Confused Breakfast. Sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Nope.
Wherever you are in the world. Take it away, boys.
Well, if you are new to this podcast, what we do is we bring on old friends and we just have conversations with them about what's going on with their lives. And then we also pick a movie and we review it scene by scene with a modern eye. But in order to do that properly, we got to talk about it with pure nostalgia first. Sean, I'm going to you on this one first.
Okay.
Tell us the first time you saw this movie, what your memories were, and what that nostalgic rating was.
Had to have been around 94, 95 on VHS. Renting it and really enjoying it. A huge Arnold Schwarzenegger fan at the time. Terminator 2 was like my favorite movie of all time. So I couldn't get enough of it. And I loved this movie. I honestly, it's a little weirder relationship with it because I'd never watched it as much as I did Terminator 2. Because I didn't understand, like, what's meta? I don't understand why is Stallone Terminator now?
You didn't actually understand what was
No,
going on.
I
But you're like, it's
didn't.
kind of fun.
Yeah, I liked the action, obviously, but
Meta
yeah.
is what Facebook used to be, and then they turned into Meta.
They lost
started
billions
a new
of
company.
dollars,
They lost
yeah.
billions of dollars,
Yeah.
and like wanted to do a lot of like virtual reality AI.
Right.
That's Meta.
8.6.
8.6 for Sean. AJ, what about you nostalgically? What were your vibes on this one?
How is this not the greatest movie on the planet Earth when you are 11 years old?
Yeah.
I need to
Okay.
know that right now because that's probably about the time that I saw it. And I remember it's not that I remember specifically like renting this, but I know that we watched it on a VHS of some kind. We got the VHS from somewhere, and I remember watching this movie and just being enthralled with it and not understanding a goddamn thing.
Yeah.
I am telling you right now, but when it's just absolute fodder for an 11-year-old to watch this movie and just see all the things happening on here and then laughing because other people are laughing around you. So I like this movie is top tier as a child. Arnold Schwarzenegger, the kid sidekick. It's funny. There's a cartoon cat. What the heck? I am going with like a 9.356.
I failed to mention too. I had the toys.
Oh
from
my
this.
God, yeah.
Specifically the car, his car, and like I remember,
Cool.
like one of the back seats you could press down and it would like eject the the driver or whatever. Yeah, I had that. Dude, bug at it.
You know, something's weird about this. So in 93, I was 11. And I have never seen Last Action Hero, which is so weird to me if you think about it. Now, having just watched it, to be like, why did I not see this? And I wonder if I was just late to the Arnold party. Like, I wonder if because not many of the Arnold Schwarzenegger movies did I ever see until later on in life. Maybe Rick and Sue Schulte were just like trying to keep me away from Arnold. I don't know what it was, but I never had a desire to see this. I was never offered a chance to see this. It was never on TV, I don't think, right? This wasn't really a TV movie, like a TNT. Not that I remember.
It might have made it on like TNT or TBS, one of those
like
two.
in the later 90s or something. But I'm a big old NA on this. But we do have executive producer Bud Larsen. This is his choice.
All right.
He made us do this movie. He says, nostalgically, I've heard this movie reviewed on other podcasts. Picked this movie because I know the guys at Confused Breakfast would do an amazing job reviewing it. We appreciate you. I want to say I saw this on HBO sometime in the late to mid 90s. I really liked this as a kid. I was kind of an Arnold Schwarzenegger fan. I liked Predator, Total Recall, Kindergarten Cop, Terminator 2. With shooting guns, explosions everywhere, and a kick-ass soundtrack, how do you go wrong? I know it didn't do the best in the box office, but is one of my absolute favorite Arnold movies. Nostalgically, I'm an 8.9.
Nice.
My dudes, that is an 8.95 nostalgically. Wow. That's going to take you into the top 10. That is specifically the number 9 spot. That is just below Dumb and Dumber and the Mighty Ducks, just above The Rock, Just Friends, and Three Ninjas.
Wow. Nice. It beat out Three Ninjas.
It beat out Three Ninjas nostalgically.
Wow.
And Just Friends. How do you feel about that?
Oh, well, it's nostalgic, man.
Okay, yeah.
Don't matter.
We are going to strip that nostalgic score away completely. We're going to talk about a modern day watch. So we got to talk to Sean. We got to learn all the important details of the movie. Sean, that's your job. Let's hear all about it.
Okay, I did it. Produced by Steve Roth and John McTiernan. Story by Zach Penn and Adam Leff. Screenplay by David Arnott and Shane Black. Cinematography by, he's back, Dean Semler. He also did Cocktail, Young Guns, Super Mario Brothers, and Waterworld.
Do you have to have the name Dean to get into cinematography?
I guess so.
I think so. I think it's a requirement.
Okay. Do you think Dean Cain ever did any cinematography?
Probably.
Oh, absolutely.
Cool.
Maybe uncredited here.
Probably how he got started in show business, but they're like, you're too beautiful to be behind the camera.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
want you in front of it.
Music by Michael Kamen. He also did Roadhouse.
Hey.
Kind of fun. Directed by John McTiernan. Cast: Arnold Schwarzenegger, F. Murray Abraham, Art Carney, Charles Dance, Frank McRae, Robert Prosky, Anthony Quinn, Mercedes Rule, Austin O'Brien, Ian McKellen, and Tom Noonan. The original script.
That's it?
Oh no, that's No,
oh, not at all.
That's everybody. That's everybody.
You should have said script. Everyone in Hollywood.
The original script by Zach Penn and Adam Leff, originally titled Extremely Violent, was meant to be a satirical look at action films like Lethal Weapon, and of course one starring Arnie himself. However, and ironically, when the studio bought the script, they had Shane Black, the writer of many films that the script was satirizing, do a rewrite of it and took out a lot of the original elements of the idea, and new plot points were added. William Goldman, Larry Ferguson, and Carrie Fisher were also doctors of the script. Kind of fun. She goes
Carrie Fisher?
uncredited for a lot of that a lot of times. She did a couple rewrites.
There's
on
another movie that we did.
That we did. Yeah, I forget what it was, but I think no, not Blues Brothers. She's just in that.
No.
Anyway, when Arnold Schwarzenegger read the script, he thought it was the best screenplay he had ever read at the time, so he was on board immediately. For a measly sum of $15 million, that is.
Oh, was that all?
Nah, that's it. That's all he got.
Jeez.
Arnie did also serve as executive producer, and as such, he was able to have a final say on almost all facets of the production. Originally, the production wanted Alan Rickman to play Benedict, but he was too expensive. Charles Dance was the second choice for the role and accepted. However, when Dance figured out he was the second choice next to Alan Rickman, he was seen on set sporting a shirt that said, "I'm cheaper than Alan Rickman." Kind of fun.
Really awesome. That's really awesome.
John McTiernan was the perfect choice as director, having worked with Arnie several times and making some of the most iconic action movies of all time. The filming of Last Action Hero would prove to be pretty damn grueling, as it is reported that the crew would have to work 18 hours a day to meet the studio's early release that it wanted. The film was picture locked just a week before the release date. It's kind of like Fugitive level, but even more chaotic.
I mean, that's obnoxious.
Yeah,
how is that
They
possible?
had people working extremely overtime hours, and I don't. We were just kind of talking behind the scenes of like panicking with schedules and everything like that. I would only imagine. Are you fucking done yet?
Yeah,
it comes out in a week.
You like knock on a door. Hey, how's it coming, guys? Okay, great. All right, cool. We'll check back. Close this door. Knock, knock, knock. Another guy. Hey, guys, how's it coming in here? Everybody stop. Get out of this damn editing room.
Last Action Hero was released on June 18th, 1993, 1 week after the massive juggernaut that was Jurassic Park, which would dominate the basically non-existent competition. As it was on a budget of $85 million, the film would make $137.3 million at the box office, and Stanley Kubrick named it one of his favorite films of all time.
I just want to know. So you can't just say that. You can't just be like, yeah, it's one of my favorite. Like whoever he was being interviewed by, they're like, which one of your favorite films? Oh, Last Action Hero. Okay, next question. Like, get into it.
Are you? Are you kidding me?
I kind of like the mystery of it. It's Stanley Kubrick in one of his favorite movies.
I don't trust. Did you see that anywhere other than IMDb facts?
No.
Okay, I don't trust it.
Well, I maybe don't trust it, but I want it to be true so bad,
fine.
so it is kind of
fine. Are you okay with this? Are we leaving this fact?
Yeah, like it's basically Wikipedia of movie facts. I mean,
okay.
Also, you guys have to understand too that the production of just the promotion of this whole thing was massive. Like, there was one of the first space advertisements that they were trying to do. Like, they had like Last Action Hero starring Arnold Schwarzenegger pasted on a
rocket for NASA.
Rocket. That's nuts. And they had that big balloon in the movie was real for the advertisement for this movie. They put a shit ton of work into it, and it was just not going to happen with Jurassic Park.
It's like their advertising marketing budget was like as big, if not bigger, than the freaking movie itself. It's just insane.
Well, thanks, Sean. Next, we got to go up to AJ. We got to learn about the critical fan ratings and reviews from people all around the world. What do you got, man?
Guys, luckily this is a movie and blood doesn't actually exist.
Whoa.
Unlike the tomato meter.
Yeah.
Gross. Just coming in with some green blood, unfortunately. 40% splat.
Interestingly enough, of all the movies we've done, that is tied with Bloodsport.
Fuck yeah.
Bloodsport.
Okay.
That's about right. Bloodsport, sorry.
Bloodsport. 47% from the audiences, so they are in somewhat agreement. 6.5 though, IMDb.
You know, the 6.5, that sounds good, right? You're like, that's not bad.
It's not terrible.
That's bottom 25 of any movie we've done. That is tied with Basketball and Twister per the audience.
Seriously.
Okay.
You know who liked this movie somehow more than last week's Scrooged? It's Roger Ebert.
Hey, Raj.
Roger Ebert came in at a 63 out of 100. I think that's like that's 2.75 thumbs out of 4.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
5 stars. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
2.75
Like
thumbs out of 5 stars.
The third, yeah, correct.
Yes.
The third star is almost to the point of the star.
Right, you
but
got
it's
it.
not quite there.
Yep.
It's like a clock.
Yep. Siskel and Ebert's star is made out of thumbs.
What does this rank on IMDb?
On IMDb, dude, like
3 nugs, dude.
it's like, dude, it's like at least like, fuck. But 63 out of 100. Roger Ebert, Chicago Sun-Times said, for all its sensational stunts and flashes of wit, Last Action Hero plays more like a bright idea than like a movie that was actually thought through.
Okay.
It doesn't evoke the mystery of the barrier between audiences and screens the way Woody Allen did. And a lot of the time, it simply seems to be standing around commenting on itself. I mean, that's kind of what a satire kind of does. I don't know. That's fine. Gene Siskel, though, is also here to comment from the Chicago Tribune, also giving it an equal 6.3 thumbs out of 100 stars.
Three bullets out of 5.
You got it. The stunt work and special effects are top flight. Schwarzenegger and the kid are just fine, but we can't help but want this film to stop kidding around and just thrill us.
Whoa.
Well, there you go.
Okay.
I think that makes a good point. Do you guys want to start high, start low? What do you want? I got 3 for you.
Let's start low.
Low. At least as bad as the original reviews. Art Vandelay, importer-exporter, in 2021 said, look, nobody pretends Arnold movies are high art. He makes empty-calorie action movies that are as forgettable as they are violent and loud. But they are fun to watch. They are fun when you're watching them, sometimes. But this is a flat-out bombarooski. That obnoxious brat is the first problem. Arnold's complete lack of acting ability is another. The pointless cameos by people nobody cares about. I'm looking at you, John Belushi's way less talented brother. This probably sounded good when it was being pitched to Hollywood producers, but viewers and critics were right. This is terrible. Would have been vastly better had Tom Noonan's weird character tossed the brat off the roof.
You know, that makes me think that if this actually happened in modern times, it actually would have been like an advertiser's nightmare or perfection moment, because every one of these people that did a cameo would have like posted on their social medias of like, dude, I'm in Last Action Hero.
Yeah.
And it would have
right.
driven up the awareness of it. But just the idea of them showing up in a movie is not enough to make people be like, did you hear Jim Belushi's in this?
Think about the Flash like around the red carpet event for this.
Yes.
I mean, it would just be insane.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, man. Let's go 7 out of 10. Let's find this movie to be a movie. One of the better 90s action flicks, said Jamariana in 2018. You got a tatted up Vincent Van Gogh as the villain with Salieri and a plump fedora-wearing Picasso by his side. You've got a universe with Stallone as the Terminator. You've got bombs exploding and Arnie wearing heeled shoes. His hair color is the same as his coat. It's an adrenaline-pumped version of the Purple Rose of Cairo and references cinema in unsubtle but quirky ways. It's a wonderfully entertaining movie from the 90s. What more reason does a person need to watch a movie?
Hell yeah.
Am I right?
Come on now.
Or am I right?
Come on.
I'm right. 10 out of 10, guys. This is called What a Treat by none other than Edward Normal Hands.
Okay. It's just regular hands. Nothing special about him.
There is a long list of movies I wish I could forget and watch again for the first time.
Ooh.
Stand By Me, the Deep Space Nine series, Jurassic Park, all of Indiana Jones.
There we go.
I'm looking forward to old age for these ones alone. Lucky me, I've never seen Last Action Hero and got to watch a golden era Arnold movie for the first time as a grown man without having a degenerative disease. In this movie, is this movie good? Not by a long shot. but it was a really entertaining one to watch. It's full of Oscar winners and film legends, a dozen great cameos. Chevy Chase doesn't speak and gets hit. There's sensational big budget pre-CGI set design. At least one pretty good joke about well-trained dogs, and Sharon Stone yipping like a kung fu chihuahua. It was a fantastic movie to watch while cooking, and it's just entertaining enough to like it and never want to watch it again. 10 out of 10.
Cool.
I love it. That's one of the best reviews we've ever had.
Isn't it?
Yes.
I thought it was pretty solid.
Yeah.
So, there you go, guys.
Do it again.
Okay. Edward Normal Hands. 10 out of 10. No.
Well, boys, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but you're going to live to enjoy all the glorious fruits that life has got to offer. Acne, shaving, premature ejaculation, your first divorce, and starting an interview-style podcast where your guests are your friends and you just talk about stuff. And now, because we care about our audience, we aren't going to torture and belittle them by playing the audio from the movie trailer. We're just going to get into the scene-by-scene review like we always do because we care about you and we are awesome people.
Okay.
Here we go.
I love you.
HWG.
That's from last week. So scene 1, the movie begins with a police standoff. A serial killer named Ripper is holding children hostage on a roof. Jack Slater arrives to save his son who is on the roof. He shoots Ripper as the image goes out of focus, revealing that Danny Madigan is watching this movie in the theater. He goes up to the projector room to meet his elderly friend Nick, who offers Danny a private preview of Jack Slater 4 at midnight.
Dude.
Did you have to call him elderly?
I mean, we needed to make sure people understood.
You're right.
We didn't play the movie trailer, so how are they going to know?
I love it so far, like right off the bat, that is like they look up at the roof of that building. It's like, yep, positive ID on the Ripper. Like, who else could that fucking be?
Who else is it gonna be? Oh, dude's got a rain slicker like freaking like the little bear.
The kid from It.
And yeah, the kid from It, and he's got an axe. Don't know who that could be.
It looks like someone did this to his face
Yeah.
as a baby, and it stayed like that.
And then
They put clothespins on it so that it would just stay.
Yeah.
yeah, and then afterwards they're like, "Oh shoot, we messed up," and they tried to do this, and it didn't work.
No.
Yeah, nothing happened.
If we were on a train to go punch a face, I'm on board.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm just going to say, I think this is quite possibly the most disturbing, ugliest punchable face that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I was taken aback when this man's face was shown.
Tom Noonan's
Yes.
with the makeup.
Dude, this is the worst. I'll have nightmares about how grossly disgusting this man is.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's terrible.
It's great, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, it's so bad that if he walked around the corner, I go, yeah, and I just like, ah! I would just punch him in the face because of how grossly disgusting he is.
He's got a skullet and everything. It's crazy. Yeah, I can't really think of anybody else. Because Charles Dance in this movie, I don't want to punch him because he's fucking amazing. Yeah. But yeah, just for the pure grossness and shock value.
Like,
yeah.
I kind of laugh when they didn't win the that was Scrooge, the Oscar for makeup.
Yeah.
Like, I almost feel like this should have been nominated just for him.
Just so they could lose.
Just so they could lose. To just be like, well, it at least deserves talking about. Have you seen how ugly that guy
It
is?
loses
Dude.
to Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
Just
you're
no
right.
makeup. They're like, yeah, the dinosaurs had makeup on. Whatever. Just give him an award.
Yeah. No, I don't think I have anyone else for punchable face. I think other than the fact of who is the guy? Oh, no, it's the guy sitting at the candy counter when he walks past.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to punch that guy.
Just like, get to work, bro.
He's like, it's like, dude, you can't smoke in here. It's like number one, and then by the way, would you do something about this graffiti? You're not doing anything.
They're not doing shit.
I'm pretty sure come on, dude. I paid for those red vines.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Guys, this is so hard for me because I had no clue what to expect.
Sure.
And I'm watching this for the first time.
Dude, I love that.
Just being like, okay, wow, weird. This is like something like really over the top action movie. Arnold appears and walks over the
On
cop
top
cars.
of cop cars?
And
Are you kidding?
Dude, and
God.
I'm starting to like make my notes, right? To be like, what the like this wouldn't, oh my God, like why did I'm starting to be critical like I usually am.
Critical.
And then I realized what was going on. I was like, oh, and I just sort of put my notepad down. I was like, I don't have to be critical in this movie.
No,
it was
doing
a
it for
weird.
me.
It was a weird moment because they were doing it for me, and I had no clue what was going on here until all of a sudden it fades out. I'm like, oh, like the. Oh, it was a really fun revelation to be like, this is what this is. I'm so excited.
Walking on top of cop cars, getting bitched out by Tina Turner.
Yeah.
Killing a kid in the first
Dude.
fucking 10 minutes of your movie.
Well, wait,
Well,
but we don't
technically,
know. We don't know that a kid was killed.
That's
This
true.
is the end of the movie, technically.
Right.
This
Yes.
is near the end of the movie. But yes, in
in
this movie.
Yes.
but we don't know that a kid has been killed at this
Correct.
point. Yes.
But regardless, like, yeah, I am so in, and like I honestly think that people weren't ready for this movie when it came out.
No.
I agree with you.
I think this is a perfect movie for right now.
Yes.
They
It's
would if they made a movie like this nowadays, it would be Last Action Hero.
Yes.
Now and days.
Please remake Last Action Hero and do it with Chris Hemsworth, and then I think we're gonna be good.
Oh
honestly,
God, no!
guys.
Please, oh God,
Oh,
really?
What?
What's wrong with Chris Hemsworth?
Yeah.
And make him do the Arnold accent.
Oh.
Oh,
Duh.
okay, all right.
See,
Wouldn't that be funny?
see.
Just don't marvel this movie, okay?
I'm not marveling.
We're not
it.
marveling
I'm just,
anything.
I'm,
We're
Chris-
just putting
I'm
a good
Hemsworthing
actor.
it.
We're putting a good actor in a role.
That's right. That's all I'm doing. Okay.
That's all we're doing. Okay.
Anyway,
Come on, babe.
I really do think that people weren't ready for this, and I think
No.
that it's super meta, obviously, and I think it's at the same time commenting on what it does. John McTiernan's directing this thing, director of Predator, Die Hard. You know, like
Yeah.
this isn't a mistake. I think this
No.
movie is like we'll get there. I think it's really fucking clever.
No, I think that how are you not in like all of a sudden? You know what I mean? Like how are you not good? Like the music coming in and the what's the Columbia Pictures thing, and it burns right through it, and then you're into this movie in the movie and you're watching it, and that axe throw though by the end of this when he like is laughing, and Tom Noonan as this guy as the Ripper, he might be one of the greatest action villains of all time.
Yeah.
We just don't know enough about him. We only see these small little bits, right?
He looks like he should be a serious looking guy,
Yes.
but he's talking to him. He's like, "Put it down, Jack." He's like, "Come on, I know you well enough." And he's dancing around, and then he just whips that axe at him.
Yes.
That's amazing. And that shot, I'm like, this should be a 3D movie remade. And I'm like, God, this is amazing.
Oh, and an axe thrown at me. Come on.
And then it goes out, and you've got Danny in the theater, and you're like, how is this place still open?
Yes.
Yeah.
What's going on here, guys?
Danny's like, it's out of focus. Oh shit! And I'm like, that's me.
Yep.
Like I was just in a movie on Friday seeing Thanksgiving, and like there was the projection of the digital copy of it was like kind of jittering, like it was buffering almost.
Yeah.
And I was like, this place is fucking going downhill, kind of like this
Yeah.
theater here. But then you have what's his name, the projectionist,
Oh yeah.
It's
Robert Porosky's character.
yes, his
Yes.
name is Nick
Nick
in the movie.
who is like up there right now for
Dude,
us, right? 4, 3?
I think it's time. We have to give extra special credit today for Jarrett Layoff. He's been doing the
Oh my
Confused
God.
Actor Database. The amount of work that he probably put into this movie and
Oh my
trying to
gosh.
categorize all the people in this movie. It's insane the amount of. So thank you, Jarrett, as
Yeah,
always.
man.
But
Of course.
So Robert Prosky, this is his third film. Most important in my mind, he was Wally in The Great Outdoors. He was the owner's.
Yes.
Well, you might get shits from the well water. You know, like he's. And I do love that line when he is talking about. Because it's not much, but it's still show business.
Still show
Yeah.
business.
That is a cool line. But to go back to the Jarrett Layoff database, do you know who the number one is so far of all the movies we've done? What actor in this movie has been in the most movies we've done?
Is it the mom?
No, she is not. She's not. Oh, Mercedes Rule. This is her third role.
Wow.
She was in Big,
Warriors
right?
and Big. She was the
Yeah.
mom in Big, and she
Yeah.
was the undercover cop in Warriors.
That's
so that's her
right.
third.
Yes.
But there's two people at 6. This is their 6th film.
Man, it's not Dan
And
DeVito.
you're missing someone we want on our Mount Rushmore so hard.
Oh, Rick Ducommun.
yes.
Fuck yeah.
Rick Ducommun. This is his 6th. He was just small role at the end there. He was the agent. But he is tied at number 6 also with Sven Ole Thorsen.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
He's been in so many like minor roles in movies. He's a gunman on the rooftop in this scene.
Oh my
or
gosh.
in the
the-
other rooftop scene.
Yeah.
He might take it when we do Die Hard. I think he's in Die Hard.
Oh my
Which
gosh.
I believe kicks him into scene number 4. I think if one of those guys hits 7, I think they're on number 4 on the
Wow.
list.
That's
In
Come on,
fact,
Rick.
actually,
Come on, Rick
let's hit
Ducommun.
this real quick here.
Yeah. Where's the Mount Rushmore stand?
So
as
Mount
of now?
Rushmore right now, actually, so John Candy 7, Steve Buscemi 7, then you got Keanu Reeves, Rick Ducommun, Sven Ole Thorsen at 6. So actually, technically, we need a winner between Sven Ole, Keanu, and Rick. We need two of them out of the 3.
Okay.
Okay.
Corey Feldman 5, Dan Aykroyd 5, Nick Cage 5, Alan Covert 5, Brian Doyle Murray 5, Mary Ellen Trainor 5, Schwarzenegger 5.
I'm so stoked though. I mean, on Keanu being in there,
Yes.
and Rick Ducommun. Sven, that's honestly hilarious if he
Yes.
takes the cake.
The last one I would mention, Al Leong. This is his fourth.
Yeah.
He's number 4.
Oh,
on the
yeah,
list.
yeah, yeah.
Al Leong.
Any rad movie that anytime he shows up in a movie, the movie's fucking dope.
Guaranteed.
Yep.
Hit him again, Endo.
Yeah.
So sorry. I was gonna. So tell me about your week.
So what else you been up to?
Sorry, guys. There's way too many inside jokes on this. Let's move on to scene number 2. So Danny goes to school and daydreams how Jack Slater would make Hamlet a better story. When he gets home, he's in trouble by his mom for skipping school to go watch movies. She leaves for work, and moments later, an intruder breaks in. Danny goes to the police station to deliver a report and then goes to the movie theater. There, Nick hands him a special ticket, which he says he received from Harry Houdini. It supposedly is a passport to another world.
I would watch Arnold in a Hamlet movie. Like
Dude,
this.
Obviously.
this is what I want Shakespeare to be.
Yeah.
Like, this is awesome.
It's ultimate
To
drama.
be or not to be. Not to be. Fuck yeah, dude.
Is this maybe the most quotable Arnold movie of all time?
It could be up there.
I feel like this was a lot of the soundboard stuff came from this movie.
Yeah.
Because so many of these lines are just the best from Arnold, in my opinion.
Rubba Baby Boga Bumpers is
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it's a great option, and I love his daydreaming about this of just like, how can he make this actually interesting? You know what I mean? I like his daydreaming and everything, but man, I can't believe we didn't think about it for Punchable Face maybe, but the robber who breaks in,
Oh, true.
He sucks.
that guy sucks.
That guy sucks.
You got junk. It's like, why'd you break in here?
What did you think?
What do you think you're robbing?
Why'd
Don't
you
you
pick-
live here too?
Why'd you pick this place?
Yeah.
Didn't you do your research?
He's
Like,
like
my mom's a widow. She's got nothing. The dad took it all.
Go to the Upper East Side, Dick.
Somebody told me this was a podcast studio.
Well, joke's on you. Either way, joke's on you.
Well, it's like even like tell me this is New York without telling me this is New York. At this point, the theater's the safest place for him.
Yeah.
He's having people
Yes.
break into his fucking apartment. Like, I would go to the theater too, you know.
You're absolutely right. Yeah.
With Nick there, you know, no one's really coming in. Maybe a straggler homeless guy every
It
once
seems
in a
like people
while,
just
but-
go there to sleep,
Yeah.
apparently.
Yeah.
But there's like, is this just a take on like old school New York? Because it just seems like there's a million movie theaters on every corner.
It was like this 42nd Street, man. It was movie theater after movie theater. One was like a porn one was like a strictly like grindhouse horror shit.
What?
One had maybe new releases here and there. One was like an art house thing. It was like phenomenal when it came to cinema back then. I think
we gotta move to 42nd Street, guys.
I'm not sure if they're there anymore.
Well, we'll just go back in time. It's fine.
Well,
yeah,
no, it's fine.
I would love that. Yeah.
Well, then actually, let's talk about a fun thing here that this movie makes you think about. If you were able to use a golden ticket to go into a movie, what movie you're choosing? And I want to set some boundaries here, like assuming that these same rules apply, that by being a good person and being the lead role and going into this movie, you're not going to die.
Right.
You're going to live, and you can just explore whatever you want to explore inside of that movie.
God damn.
That's a good one. John Wick.
John Wick?
Yeah.
What, are you just going to be like a sidekick?
I would.
Like just a friend?
Yeah, I'll be like a John Leguizamo. You know,
Okay.
I'm a friend of John Wick. So I'm a friend of Keanu Reeves. And then like it's just like me being like, I'm there in the Continental having a drink. Pass him a drink too. Hey, Blanton's on me, guy.
Yeah, gotcha.
Gold coin. That's what I'm going to be doing. Yeah.
And then just kind of experiencing that world.
And then all of a sudden I come out of the woodwork much like Willem Dafoe, and instead of like a sniper rifle, I throw a well-timed knife into a guy.
Okay.
See, that's it.
Because you have those powers.
Yep,
Now that you've stepped into this role, you have those powers.
Yeah, and then after I do that, he just looks at me. He's like, "AJ," I say, "John." I say, "John."
Cut. That's a wrap on AJ.
Good job.
Benz.
Send AJ back to the real world. No, don't send me back. I want to stay.
Please.
I would jump into The Shining because I want to hang out in that hotel. That hotel looks fucking phenomenal, as we've talked
Okay.
about. And also, but what I would do also, I would go like undercover. I would like sneak my way in because no one else is supposed to be there. It's just their family.
Okay.
So I would sneak in and I would like on like certain doors and stuff
Okay.
and like on the walls and be like, huh. What was that? I swear to God, there's someone here. Maybe like strip down naked and like walk by a corridor just as some people are like out of the corner of their eye. Just be like, I saw a naked dude here. What the fuck is going on? You know, just to freak him out even more.
Yeah.
But then my actual real answer would be Tombstone.
My real answer, Tombstone.
Tombstone.
Ooh.
Yeah, I want to step inside that.
You're just part of the brothers posse
exactly. The whole Wyatt Earp killing brigade.
God, there's
What
so
would you
many.
do?
I don't know. Like half of me thinks you got to go like sci-fi, something that you cannot really experience in real life. So
True.
like The Matrix.
So you're going into like Aliens.
I'm not going into aliens.
So
I'm thinking.
you're just jocking my Keanu vibe. That's fine.
No, I'm
Mike,
going.
whatever.
Okay, then let me change it. I'm almost thinking like Inception.
Oh,
Can you imagine going into that world
you
and
just
then going into 47 different worlds? And
do you know like what kind of conundrum you just added?
Oh no!
by
I'm a whole nother. I'm in a dream within a dream that's in a movie.
That's in a movie.
No,
That's too much.
You're not coming back.
good. Maybe I don't want to.
Well, as long as you like, what if you had this ticket and it pulls you in at the wrong time, just like what happens to Danny,
So
and then like,
but you get pulled into a dream, but you think that's reality?
yeah,
No.
like what if you're in the wrong moment of like Shawshank Redemption, right? Like it's like climbing through
Oh
the shit
shit!
tunnel,
You don't know.
and you're just like,
What if you jump into Sophie's Choice and you're not the choice?
and you're not the choice. What if you jump into Misery and you become an accessory to this?
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm just saying.
Wow. Okay. I mean, like I'd almost rather talk
you gotta
about
be
this.
careful with this power.
I know, with great power. Oh
God.
no!
Well, then let's pull out of that. We got to talk about Charles
Nice.
Dance as Benedict. Dude, it took me a while.
Yeah?
It took me a while of just being like, who the fuck is that? How do I know him? You know, just like, and then when it clicked, I was like, Tywin Lannister.
Yes.
It blew me away when I finally pictured it. And this was like his introductory way into that role almost. Like this was like him developing that character in a weird way for me. Like
That sinisterness.
yes,
Like
it sort of worked for me. Like, oh, no wonder you played Tywin Lannister.
yeah.
Like it was almost the same vibe for me that Benedict gave off.
Dude, take that moment of, and again, we're talking about such quintessential action movie moments, and this introduction into this movie, I am all in.
Mm-hmm.
Jack Slater 4, breaking through different walls, and it just opens up on this immaculate, which I have to assume was like the same house from like Lethal Weapon, and then then you've got him doing the classic bad guy thing, and you see the target right next to his head, and Benedict shoots it. And then he pulls down his glasses. He's got that glass eye. Did that creep you out at
Yeah.
all? At the first time seeing this? Oh man. I thought that was great.
Like, what? Why?
It's a really cool villain thing to have.
The
Like,
glass eye.
It's just in the different ones too. Like I
Oh,
fucking
man.
love it. It's so cool.
How is that not? That's a Bond villain moment right there.
Definitely.
That's amazing, dude.
Yep.
God,
So-
I love it.
Before we move on to scene 3, this is how I picture Sean going to the theater though. When that movie starts and he sits in his seat and he just goes, like that's how I picture Sean at the theater. It's
Oh,
so
he does. I've
awesome.
been there with him, and it's like it's exactly what he does. The only difference is, like I say, he's got his red vines as well as his
Yep, yep,
popcorn.
yep.
So yeah, dude, this is how he watches movies. If I was in a theater with this kid, I'd be like, shut up,
True. Yeah.
shut up.
But he's there. This is Sean's
You're
ideal theater.
gonna pay.
He would love to go
You're
here.
gonna pay because this is how I watch movies.
I paid to be here. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
I would like it if you'd shut up, please.
No, I already paid for the movie. Will you please quiet down, sir?
I saw that you had a conversation with Nick. I saw that you got him for free.
Yeah.
I've seen it. It's also kind of a creepy relationship you got there. Could you explain that?
Honestly.
Here's the thing. You might have a relationship with Nick. I've got a relationship with Hal in there at the candy store or at the candy
Yeah.
counter. Okay.
You know how Hal doesn't talk to you? He talks to me.
He talks to me. He will haul your ass out of here. Okay.
Hal Halls.
Hal Halls. That's his name.
Yeah, well, that's what we'll call him.
That's what we're going to call him. Hal Halls.
No, I miss, like, speaking of like being in the theater and like seeing all this, I miss physical tickets because
Yeah.
part of my nerd, I have like 3 boxes of just tickets of movies that I've been
like
to.
concert when you used to have concert tickets.
Concert
stubs
ones.
and stuff
I have
that.
like concert reviews from the paper. I have movie reviews from Ebert and Siskel of certain
Siskel
movies
and
that came.
Ebert,
please. Yeah,
Sorry,
please,
I said
please.
it opposite.
Please.
Yeah, I wish we could go back to that. Now it's just all on the phone. What?
No, I'm just laughing at every time I go to Marcus. Like no one even
You know how
looks
many
at my
times
ticket.
I have to give my ticket? that
I'm like, can I please show someone my
Yeah.
ticket to prove that I bought? And they're like, no, you
We
don't
don't
have to do
care.
that.
Can I validate this in any way to make sure I couldn't have just walked in here?
Man,
Please.
that place is fucking going downhill.
Do you think so?
Yeah,
That
I think
sucks.
so.
It's too bad.
Well,
man.
let's move on to scene 3. We're kind of already there.
All right.
Nick starts to watch the movie. We begin to watch Jack Slater's adventures on screen. We're introduced to Vivaldi, Benedict, and Jack's second cousin. After Frank is killed, Jack goes on a high-speed chase through town. It's at this point that Danny's magic ticket starts glowing, and a bundle of dynamite comes through the screen. He snuffs it out and is engulfed in white light. He's now inside the movie with Jack in his car. They evade all the bad guys, and Danny tries to convince Jack that they're in a movie.
So
Damn it. I'm sorry, guys.
Go ahead.
I have to go back for a second because we
great.
gloss over the fucking fact that Danny called the police and then the police take him downtown.
They had to come get him. They
Get
had to
him.
get him out of his handcuff because the dude threw the
in the toilet
Yeah.
or something. Go fish for it. And then so he's downtown. By the way, let's just break this down really quick. He goes downtown because of a break-in. How often does this happen that it becomes a norm to him and his mom? And then mom has a job that she had to have a conversation with somebody, probably Frank Cross, who says, "Look, somebody broke into my apartment. My son was held at knife point. He was chained, handcuffed to behind the toilet. Like, I need to go home. I need to see my son. No, you have to work. Oh, okay. I'll be home after the shift, son. What?
Yes.
And
there's
then,
no way I'm continuing on with the
No.
shift.
I don't
There's
think
no
they have
reason.
a phone at their apartment, so there's no way she probably even knew about it.
And because he says your mom says she'll be home when the shift's done, and it's like, thanks, copper, who's just gonna let me go again back to the same apartment
Back on the streets.
on the streets. Thanks for making sure I get there safely. I've now, since you drove me all the way downtown, I'm gonna go ahead and walk the 18 New York City blocks
Yep.
to get there. Or I'll catch a cab. I'm sure I got money for that. And then he's like, nope, ditches, goes to see Nick, and Nick's like, I almost gave up on you. And you could have been just like, sorry, dude, I just got held at knife point. But I made it here. Well, come on in.
Come on in. Have you seen my outfit that I'm
Check
wearing?
out my outfit. This is kind of a creepy moment
It
between
is.
them.
It is.
He changes.
Yeah.
Right here.
This man may have some sort of schizophrenia going on.
Honestly.
I love it. And then he plays that and he flips out that ticket. And yeah, I just needed to make mention of this because we can't gloss over the fact that Nick's kind of a creepy guy.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put it out there.
There's some very niceness to him of that moment. Like I said earlier, they're still show business. He's still hanging on to it, but at the same time, it's like, you don't have any friends either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think when I first saw this movie back in the day, I thought that he wasn't real for some reason.
Like
a ghost.
Oh,
Yeah.
like he might not he was a figment of
something
some sort.
I think that's what I thought when it's not implied in this movie at all, and I don't think that's the case. But
Yeah.
it almost seems like that just because of that weird change that he makes, where it's just like, and I have this ticket now.
Well, he does make mention at the end of the movie, like he's like, did I ever tell you about the time I saw Wild Bill's, like one of Wild Bill's
Yeah.
productions? And like there's a comment or something that says like if he actually saw Wild Bill's, like the youngest he could be at that point is like 90 years old.
Wow. Okay.
So if he actually saw it as a kid,
Huh.
like that's the youngest he could have been.
Maybe he haunts that theater or something.
I know,
Like,
right?
That's kind of cool. But he is creepy in that way. But he is also as well to me kind of like a video store clerk that would
Yes.
give you suggestions. You know,
Yeah.
that kind of like usherer into genre movies like this. You know,
Yeah.
I like that aspect about him.
This is so funny to me. This over the top of the action movie. Like I want to watch Jack Slater 4.
I want to so
I wanna
bad.
see it.
When he's even past like the initial house, and it's like he's showing up to his second cousin.
They're right, and they play on. They're running out of ideas.
Yeah.
my favorite second cousin. You're like,
second.
favorite second cousin.
This time it's personal.
No, this time it's personal.
No, this time.
No, my
They just
second
keep
cousin.
fucking with his family, even extended family.
It's like you do realize, I'm not trying to spoil anything, but like at this point, you realize that like Jack Slater's kid died in the last movie. He's going out of his way for a second cousin now.
Yes. And his second cousin being Art Carney.
Art Carney.
Which I didn't recognize at first. I didn't catch that was him. And then I was like, oh my God. He said something. And the inflection in his voice, I was like, oh my God, that's Art Carney. And did you read that about, this was his last on-screen appearance?
Yeah, and his last line that he ever said was, "I'm out of here."
That's
I'm
just
outta
creepily
here.
It's kind of
prophetic.
Yeah, it's really weird, but it's kind of cool.
Yeah, and no, I mean, like if you lived a great long life and that's the last time you're on screen and that's the last thing you say, like
I'm out of here. In a Jack Slater movie in Last Action Hero.
Yes.
In a movie.
That's
In a
where-
movie.
that
a
was your
movie
last
within a
credit.
movie within a movie.
Yeah,
How do you feel about his death scene?
you know,
The cards.
the cards are great, dude. Oh my God, I
he just
fucking
keeps
lost my mind. What does
Five,
this mean?
4?
What could the next one
Three,
be?
What's the next one say? And I want to know so much more. I want to know, like, how did they plan that? Was when the second card like came apart from the first card, did that ignite it, or did he just hope and pray that at 10:31, I'm really hoping he's pulled out the cards.
I think
by
it's a
now.
combination of both those things
Okay,
for sure.
good. I want to know so many things.
I think that there's probably like a guy. There's like a guy in the window just being like, "There he goes. He's got a bouquet." Okay.
Wait, did he open it yet?
He's got a telescope.
3, 2. Oh shoot! He didn't hit the last one.
No, just do it.
I'll
Just do it.
I got it.
and it's so funny that Danny's like, oh, dude, I guarantee other two cops are dead. He's got a little bit of a bruise on him, but he's fine. And he goes, yep, totally. He's fine.
Shut up! You stop talking.
I'm a huge movie buff. It's fine.
Shut
We
the
get
fuck
it.
up.
I love movies. I have a podcast where I talk about them.
I'm gonna punch you in the face, kid.
Check us out on Apple or Spotify.
Apple, Spotify, 5 stars. Thanks. I'm gonna leave you a bad review.
You guys have seen movies with me. Dude, the dynamite comes flying through the screen.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's just magically kind of in the back seat, which is, whatever. But this is one of the best action set pieces I have ever seen in my fucking life.
Isn't this fucking amazing? And by the way, when that AC/DC song kicks in and that truck peels around the corner, I am like, let's go. Let's go. Oh my gosh, dude.
And
So epic.
maybe that's what the problem was with this movie, is that at the time people were like, this is dumb. Like, this would never, this action movie. But now we're like, that's the action movie we want. We want that just so terribly over the top action movie.
It's too close to the source material.
Yes.
That's, I
just
think,
too
what the
close.
problem was. It was too close to the
It was
source
almost
material.
hard to understand what they were doing at the time.
Because any action movie, even that Arnold did, even you could say Terminator 2, or like some of those action set pieces seem like they could happen, even though it's far-fetched. These are so, like, the guy gets thrown into the ice cream truck, it explodes, an ice cream cone comes and smokes Al Leong in the back of the head. Obviously, this is like, I really do think this is John McTiernan, like, commenting on the impact that he's had in cinema.
Yeah.
Like, all those action movies that he made, and like this movie is commenting on violence, specifically violence in action movies, which John McTiernan is a huge fan
Extreme
of.
violence.
A lot of his movies are gory. Yes, exactly. A lot of his movies are gory as fuck. I really think that he's in on this. Obviously he is, but on top of being in on the joke, he is commenting on his impact on cinema in the statement for Last Action Hero. I really think that, and I think it's brilliant.
I feel like you guys might have to correct me on this, but I think Richard Donner was even in talks about, like, or maybe approached at some point to have a hand in this movie. And John McTiernan is like the only other person I think that, in the scope of these types of action movies, that I just think you have to have somebody who's so aware of what the source material is that you can make fun of it. Much like we talked about in, like, Airplane,
Yeah.
They're so close to their source material that they take it, but Airplane takes it well beyond, whereas these guys completely break the fourth wall. It's a little bit different, But I just absolutely love this idea of where they're taking it. Think about, like you said, Terminator 2. When he walks out of that bar and Bad to the Bone is playing, it's the same vibe, guys.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same vibe. And I think, Mike, you even said like that was corny.
Yeah.
In Terminator 2,
Yeah,
didn't you?
completely.
That you're like, oh, God damn. You're like, okay. This is the same exact thing, but it's funny.
Yeah.
I think it's so good. And the AC/DC wrote that song
right.
by request of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I guess we got to do it, guys.
I would also do it.
Angus, well,
Hey,
Do it.
can you
You know, lots of riffs.
I like if you
when you play the guitar, I really like it, and I wanted to do this for this movie.
I want it in like 120 beats per minute.
Yeah.
Very 4 to the floor.
Fall to the floor.
I'm ashamed of myself. I couldn't really break into an Arnold.
No, I can't at all. I don't know what that
usually
was.
Taught myself.
Here, we'll just write it on a piece of paper. And we'll just hand them over to AJ, and he'll do them for us.
Sean's
No,
probably better
no.
at Arnold than I am.
No,
I'll be
I'm
honest
not
with you.
doing that. Dude, when the van comes from the dam and they're just talking and she's like, yeah. It's so good.
So funny.
It seems like every movie ever filmed in LA that has a chase scene always does it in the same exact spot.
Yeah.
Because it feels like that same bridge is the one where in Terminator 2 they like crash through it. So I like to picture that LA finally got smart and they're like, this section of the bridge is just collapsible. Like you just have to hit a button and put a bunch of keys in there and you just run into it and it just falls off and you can have a car drive. It's like every movie I've ever seen had a car jump off that same part of the bridge. I think in Terminator 2 is the same spot.
And I'll tell you what, I didn't read anything about it, but I wouldn't have been surprised if any or parts of this were filmed on the backlot. You know, like because especially when they finish this up and he whips it back into that little like thing between the buildings, and Danny is literally saying like, "This is a movie set. Like this is what's going on," and like that looks like the Hollywood backlot.
Yeah.
And this moment of chicken is so great. Like it's so good, dude. Everything is Acme. Everything is disposable. Like everything. It's so good.
The cars on the side of the street are blowing up one at a time.
Oh, dude. The obvious flipper at the house. Like, did you guys see it? I don't know if you guys caught it or not, but like during the explosions, there's like the big flipper under the cop car that you
no shit.
it's blatant and it's so funny. And what's the beauty of this is the fact that yes, it could be a faux pas. It could be what do they call a gaffe, right? It could be a gaffe, but it also could be a comment on the making of these movies.
100%.
And I think that's the brilliance of it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, either they left it in or they tried to make you see it,
Yeah.
or they didn't, and it still adds to it no matter what.
They said that there's like a gaffe probably almost every single scene of this movie if you pay
Beautiful.
attention.
That's
like
awesome.
enough. Yeah.
And I do like about these movies where you can't decide if you like a character or not. It's because it's so indifferent, like the commissioner.
Oh yeah.
I want to hate this commissioner so much. I just like stop it. Like stop yelling. What the hell's going on here?
Yeah.
But then there'll be a moment where I'm like, I really like this guy. Like he's really good at this. Even like after your wife left you, Jack told everyone he drove her to the diphtheria clinic. When he came back, you said, "You saved me from humiliation. You're my dearest friend. You promised not to tell. I did not." Then how did he know? Jack Slater won. Won what? No, the first Jack Slater. You told your dad?
You told your dad? He says Jack Slater won. He's like, what does winning have to do with this?
Yes. It's amazing. That kind of shit is so funny to me.
We're looking sack of puppy poo.
I don't care about your Hershey Highway.
And then like even when they leave the police station for that first time, there are moments that I just laughed out loud when Arnold gets back in the car and he goes down the wrong way of the parking lot and then ramps back over and the car crashes. I'm like, why?
He's the hero. He doesn't care.
It doesn't matter because he's a hero and it's an action movie.
It's so I laughed out loud and rewound it when I gotta watch that again. Awesome. It's so good.
So good.
And and then he comments too. He's like, I'm the little kid. I'm your sidekick. It's perfect buddy movie material. I'm like, it is.
Yes.
It's perfect and it works so good. What do you guys think about Austin O'Brien in this.
Is that Danny?
As Danny, yeah.
He got a lot of hate about this movie.
Did he really?
He got a lot.
Oh, that sucks.
Like a lot of critics and a lot of people just did not like his performance. And I'll be honest with you, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm above indifferent about it. It did not bother me, and I didn't start reading into his performance until I started reading a lot of reviews. Because I don't read reviews before I start watching a movie. I can't do that, right? Like I can't like do my portion of this, like, and read a bunch of reviews and critical and like
it's a bias.
It creates a bias unwittingly or unknowingly at times, and I can't do that. But I didn't realize that people really didn't like his performance until that time, until I started doing it. So I don't know. What do you guys
think? That
think?
was a big deal? Like, do you think if this had gotten better reception, would he have gone on to a bigger career?
Well,
maybe
it's very possible, but there's also the talk that they wanted like Macaulay Culkin for this role.
Would that have changed this film? Like, would that have made it a success? They had so many cameos, so many things, but the one thing they couldn't quite change is like the kid sidekick plus the meta version of this. Would Macaulay Culkin have changed this?
I don't know. I really do kind of like it because I don't know Austin O'Brien much, and I guess
My Girl too.
That's right.
Yeah,
the boyfriend.
I think you needed kind of a no-name actor for this. Like if you got someone like in Terminator 2.
Danny Cooksley.
Well, no.
No. If you got Edward Furlong.
Okay.
Like it would, if you got a star like that or like Macaulay Culkin, I think it would take away from the meta nature of this. To be honest, it would be It would be either the worst of both worlds or the best.
We want it to
I agree.
We want it to feel like you're an unknown. This could happen to you.
Yes.
You're just an unknown kid in a movie.
But
movie
you've
theater.
seen Edward Furlong in Terminator 2.
That's true.
And you're right, because how are you going to convince that Macaulay Culkin is a no-name in this world that he's
Exactly.
talking about, right? Because they're commenting on cinema. Macaulay Culkin has to be somebody to be commented on in some way, shape, or form if it were to ever be brought up. You can't do that. Edward Furlong, they bring up Terminator 2.
Yeah.
You can't have Edward Furlong in there.
That's true.
So, and honestly,
We got the T-1000 cameo in there. Like
that's the only other person I kind of thought about was to be able to play that role of that kid was Edward Furlong, but you can't do it. You can't do it. You couldn't get away with it.
River Phoenix.
Well, River Phoenix, of course.
Young Joaquin Phoenix, like that kind
Maybe,
of stuff.
Yeah.
Actually,
sure.
River Phoenix would have been amazing in this role.
Corey
I'll say.
Feldman.
There's no telling.
I don't know
on,
about
like,
Corey Feldman,
It's
but
the same with Edward Furlong, I think.
Gotcha.
yeah, exactly. Like
if you had a history in cinema already, I think it would be a wrong choice to cast him.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
it would have to have been like a no-name.
So I do think that is in fact a smart choice for like the meta aspect of this movie. But in the same regard, do you guys think, how do you feel about his actual performance? I'm sorry, I didn't know if you said the same thing
I
yet.
think it's passable. I think you could have really got anybody else and it would have been fine. I really think that the star of the movie is the movie itself. Like I think like
and Arnold.
And, well, yeah. I mean, obviously, I
That's
think
the star power.
I feel for the kid. I'm just as stoked for what's going on as he is. I love his like meta comments where he's like, "You say this all the time." Like I think it's fine.
This is a movie. We're in a movie.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people get hung up on kids' performances, and I think that you have to realize that a kid would be extremely stoked in these circumstances,
Yes.
right? I mean, he would be overly stoked, and I think that's the way it's played, and I think it's done just fine. And you realize it on how low he's actually billed on this too.
Yeah.
He's in almost every single scene, and he's like lower than the police commissioner on the billing.
Yeah.
It's crazy, dude.
He's like 10th.
Oh yeah,
and he's might have the most scenes.
and
of
he
anyone.
has more screen time than fucking Arnold. It's crazy.
Well, scene 4, Danny recognizes Vivaldi's mansion, which raises suspicion from Benedict. While visiting, Slater's daughter, Whitney Benedict, raids the house with some thugs. There's a lot of commas in there. He raids the house with the thugs, takes the magic ticket from Danny, and escapes after a gun battle with Jack and Whitney. While inspecting the ticket at the mansion, he discovers a portal to the real world. Jack and Danny find out Vivaldi's plans to use planted nerve gas at a funeral and stop it.
Professor Tanaka.
That was his third movie he's been in.
Okay, so
Yes.
3 Ninjas.
Another one I can't remember quite off the top of my head.
Bloodsport, probably, maybe. No.
Bloodsport?
No, it wasn't
tell ya.
Bloodsport. I will say that them rolling up to the mansion though is a pretty funny thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, the bad guys are in there. All the police everything I've done. And then like they roll up. He's like, yeah, we'd like to speak to the drug dealer of the house.
Running Man.
Running Man. Thank
Running
you.
Man. There you
Yes.
go.
Another Arnold movie. I think it's very, very funny. And Tanaka's like reaction to that is great.
Yeah.
He just laughs. And then he sends Benedict to the door. And there, honestly, I think that the back and forth between
It's pretty awesome.
Arnold and Charles Dance is awesome.
Yeah.
It's really good.
That is a perfect bad guy to be playing against Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yes. It really is.
Amazing, guys.
Yeah, I love it a lot. The fucking stupid, ridiculous, like dogs
Yes.
pyramid. He like, snaps his fingers. They're all on a fucking
They're
pyramid.
snap it
extremely
again.
well trained.
If I stab it again, in a couple days, you will end up as fecal matter or something like that.
From Canine Erecti.
Well, and then you got to talk about Bridget Wilson Sampras.
Veronica Vaughn.
Dude.
So hot. Want to touch the hiney.
This is her.
my God.
This is her launching pad. This is her first movie.
It's her first
Yeah.
big screen,
And
right?
you know damn well everybody watched this movie and said, "Oh my God."
Yeah.
I mean, was this a bit of a blank check moment here too? Like, not quite as bad, but how old are we assuming? Like in real life, she was 20,
Well, I think that's about what she's playing is college.
and he's 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well-
And she said he was cute and kissed him on the lips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's just going to college because she's talking about how this is like a sorority thing that's coming through. She's probably like in a rush thing.
Skeezy's supposed to show
Skeezy's
up.
supposed to get punchable face.
Ah,
Let's go.
We already did punchable face,
No,
didn't we?
just bring it back.
If we were on a train
You
to
want the
go
whole
punch his
thing?
face, I'm on board.
Doesn't matter if it's,
That's what I'm talking about.
doesn't.
Wait,
count
who
if
was the
it's not
punchable face then that you had?
Didn't we? Did we say a punchable face?
I don't think we did.
No, dude, you're talking
Am
about.
I wrong?
Bro.
Have we been recording 37 episodes today? So I don't know what the heck's
Yes,
going on
I
anymore.
think you're right.
No, I punched the Ripper.
Oh, you wanted to
yeah.
punch the
Ah,
Ripper.
Come on, guys.
No,
Jesus.
damn it. Okay, well, you did it to her. You did it so early, Michael.
I didn't.
Skeezy deserves to be punched, but you know who else deserves to be punched in this moment?
Bridget Wilson Sampras?
No, never.
You sure with all
Never,
that
Michael.
ridiculous screaming she's doing?
No, she gets to have that. She
Okay.
can absolutely have that.
Okay.
No, it's the bad guy who was ready to open the door, and it ends up being Skeezy
Okay.
at the door. If you look at him, he's got his hand on the knob. He looks at the guy, and he flips his stupid freaking perfect mullet back. That guy also deserves to be punched.
All right.
But Skeezy's up there.
well, and
Does, I mean, well, speaking of her screaming, I have to defend her because I remember rewatching this movie. I remember being annoyed to all hell by that, but it's for a purpose because
It is.
she's supposed to be getting tortured or like beat up or whatever.
oh,
but
so
she's
she,
doing
oh, so,
so she's acting.
She's playing the role.
Yeah,
to make sure that the people outside in the living room
Yeah.
assume that this is happening to her.
exactly.
And same with the if you harm a hair on her head.
That's pretty awesome.
Stop.
Stop.
Yes,
That's so good.
And
And there's a sound
you were saying.
it's very good, man. Like, oh, can we also comment about how there's one guy who drops everything every single time? He throws something over to this henchman, and it's like a gun, and he drops it.
There's the
but then
bumbling idiot henchman.
Yeah, and then he also throws like the wad of cash at the guy. He drops it again, and he just keeps dropping everything.
I did not notice
Like,
that.
I looked for any sort of comment on this. I couldn't find anything. I'm like, it's the same guy over and over again that he keeps tossing things to, and
Most
he keeps
lovable
dropping
face?
it.
Most lovable. That
Yeah,
guy, I feel sorry for him. He's trying really hard.
Most bumbling face. I don't know, man. Like, it's a thing.
Well,
It's
and
a thing.
Even Arnold says at one point, he says that Whitney's going to die an old maid. And it's like, no, she's not. What are you talking about, bro?
Are you kidding? She's on prom night. She stayed home and field dressed an
perfect
AK-47.
woman.
I'm like, oh, great. So you're just talking about the woman everybody wants
Yeah,
to hang
you're
out.
talking about Sonya Blade.
Yeah,
That's what you're
so.
talking
Oh, gotcha, Sonya Blade. So she just became Sonya Blade. Yeah, like
Yeah,
So
What's the
this
deal?
was 93, and then like 94 or 95 was Mortal Kombat Billy Madison. Like,
Damn.
bam. And
Yeah.
it's just rocket ship.
oh man,
Veronica Vaughn.
makes perfect sense.
Can
yeah,
you explain to me, and maybe I don't need an explanation. Again, I'm trying to be critical on this movie, but
Fair.
you can't. Why did he get, what was his fireable offense? Like, why did the commissioner say you're fired? You're turning your badge. What did he actually do?
It's true because it was just like a house that blew up.
His
it was his
daughter's
ex-wife's.
his ex-wife's house blew up, and he was trying to save it from not blowing up.
Maybe, you know what? There you go. We don't need to comment on it because it's such a it's a silly thing.
I'm sitting here like I'm wanting to do what I normally be like. That wouldn't happen, but I'm like, well, wait, no, I can't say that.
All these movies have their like cop main characters get fired.
Yes.
Rehired because they're like, God damn it.
Jack.
Damn your shoot first, ask questions later antics.
God, if it doesn't work.
I'll be goddamned if you're not the best cop I've ever seen, Jack Slater.
I mean, like, even before this, too, I have to comment. Like, the guy is getting electrocuted and then, like, shoots his own guy. That's amazing. But then, after this whole, like, shootout, which, by the way, I didn't need the ET thing.
Please.
That was the thing I really did not
There
need.
are moments in this movie where you're just like,
no, I'm the funny side. I'm this funny sidekick.
Yeah.
Oh crap! And so he has to turn off.
Yeah,
it is funny,
but you don't need to do ET in front of the moon.
You are correct,
right.
and it wasn't very well done.
I think this movie is doing a Humanize the Goons on purpose because after this whole fight scene, we see Benedict just go casually back to his house. He just turns on his TV, takes out his eyeball. And he's just doing normal things. Like after potentially killing people, his guys died for sure. And he just goes home, turn on my TV, take out my eyeball. Relax a little bit. Just
relax
wait till tomorrow to take over the world.
Pour some Cedar Ridge whiskey. Just wind down a little bit.
Have we done props yet?
No.
Props.
Ooh, here's a prop.
I'm torn. I think I want the eyeball collection.
Ooh, like in a nice case?
Yeah.
Where the glass lid flips up and you can kind of pick which one?
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, did you see it? Did
he have one?
Did you see what he puts them on?
No.
It's like this weird.
Oh, yeah.
It's like this weird like pedestal thing that you could that you'd keep like necklaces on that like spins.
Cool.
But it's all spoons. It's all spoons that holds all these eyes, and then he's got his little glasses case.
I like that.
holds the four main ones, like the 8-ball one.
Came home one day and made that.
Yeah.
It was an arts and crafts.
It was an arts and crafts kind of day off. Yeah.
I want the ticket.
I thought you would have wanted his belt buckle, his marksmanship Slater belt buckle.
Oh,
I feel like that's something you would wear.
Like I said, I want the physical tickets back, man. I want that ticket.
Just for the weird nostalgia of it, something that I would have never owned as a kid. I want the mini disc player. Oh. Remember mini disc? When he's in his car, it's not cassettes. He's putting mini disc tapes in the thing in the middle. Did you ever notice that?
I didn't notice that at all.
It is not cassettes. Do you remember what mini disc was?
I think so.
The idea behind
GameCube.
It was digital, right? Well, yeah, it was digital. So like CDs.
Hit clips.
What's that?
Hit clips.
No.
Baja Man.
What?
All right.
You get 45 seconds of a Baja Man and let the dogs
is the complete
out?
opposite. You have like over 100 times more data on this than a CD has. And it was the big deal about mini disc was that it was erasable and recordable. So you could
CDRW.
You could change whatever music was on. It's CRW that like you could keep changing.
Wow.
And that did not.
What the hell? It didn't take off.
Didn't take off.
See, that's
Consumer use
obnoxious.
really did not take off.
I'm surprised nobody took the axe that you can put together. That was my backup.
No,
Yeah,
I don't want
that's
that.
dope.
That's
But
dangerous.
But I think it's. But he like brings it out on like a utility belt and he puts it all together. That's
Takes a
so
while.
badass.
Takes like 20 minutes to
I
assemble.
remember that as a kid. That is ingrained in my brain. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many fun things here. Like, they go to his actual apartment. There's always a guy in there. Why there's a guy there? There's always a guy in there. That's just so funny to me. Then
Cost me a fortune in closet doors.
Yes. Then they're driving. They're driving and they're figuring out the Leo the fart thing, and like every car's just swerving, and like, I don't understand why that's happening.
Like it doesn't make any sense. It's not
Zero
necessary,
sense.
and it's. But it's hilarious because it's just an action movie, and there should be action happening around everything that this main character is doing.
And there is.
And there always
Cars are
is.
just swerving for
regardless,
no reason.
like they're just swerving around him, or like when he pulls up to the hotel. He doesn't just drive up to the hotel. He goes across that little like
He
fountain
hydroplanes
thing,
across the lake.
hydroplanes across it, goes up on the little floor, like hill thing that's got all the shrubbery on it, and just stops and just gets out casually.
And just when you thought this movie could not get any dumber, it introduces a character named Leo the Fart.
And totally redeems
And
itself.
totally redeems itself, because this is hearing Arnold talk about farts and then throwing fart joke after fart joke after fart joke, pulling the finger to start the bomb.
Yeah. Amazing. Come on.
What?
That's freaking hilarious.
I have to mention too. There's a glove in the glove compartment.
There's a
gun
gun
in the glove compartment. A whole arsenal fucking falls out. It's so good. Yeah, man. This is another action set piece. It's just like outstanding.
The whole rooftop thing is outstanding.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about all the things. Think about the movie like Free Guy, like the Ryan Reynolds movie. And every day he gets up and he does the same thing over and over again. And he's got the same outfits. He goes gets the same coffee. And it's the same thing that we saw with Arnold in his apartment. He never spends any time in his apartment. He doesn't have any furniture. He doesn't spend any time here. He has the same outfits over and over and over again. The same guns, the same boots. Like all his closet's full of the same stuff, including the same. There's always a guy in there.
God.
Like it's such a great. How did this not start that kind of revolution almost, and that idea of this, that we just need to comment on these NPCs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're right. Like, practice. How do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice. And it's like, we find out he's a bad guy.
Practice is a bad guy.
And I love that little turnaround. This is when all the little nostalgic brain sparks are happening for me, when he kind of does that laugh and he turns around with his gun. And he's, who are you working for, Practice? And that's when all this really starts in for me at this point in the movie.
And like even commenting even further on F. Murray Abraham playing this role. He's like, he killed Mozart. Was it Mozart?
Yeah.
So you did kill Mozart.
Mozart. Which, because like what a weird he played Antonio Salieri in Amadeus. Who was mythically possibly the man that killed Mozart.
Right.
You know, like, why do you even put that in here? It's hilarious.
There's a lot of references.
It came out like maybe 2 years before this.
Yeah.
Won a bunch of Oscars.
There's a lot of references to classical
music,
music
too. I saved his life
too.
as Nam. I was like, what is that? I thought maybe they were in a movie together about Nam or something like that, but I couldn't figure that out.
It's just more of that backstory that you don't get to see.
I saved his life as Nam.
Remember,
that's why we're friends.
Because that's such a classic thing of like old partners and one of them turned. It's like, there you go.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, what do you mean? Like, what are you doing? And in Predator, he's like, it wasn't about this. I was trying to get this, and we were trying to make sure we got the information. And it's like, what are you doing to me?
Well, speaking of Predator and John McTiernan movies, like we get the shot of the helicopter laser on his forehead.
Oh my god!
And then after that, we get the shot of him falling. It's the same as Die Hard. Like he's in on this, man. I fucking love it.
Well, I forgot to mention this earlier. When the house explodes and the second cousin house explodes, the cop in the tree, and he goes, "I was 2 weeks away from retirement."
Oh yeah.
Lethal Weapon. Then the Lethal Weapon theme, the saxophone theme plays in the background. They're very aware of themselves.
They know exactly what they're doing here, man. And there's moments. They take snippets from sound design all over the place, or from songs from like Lethal Weapon, from Die Hard. They put them in here at a whole bunch of different places.
And not to even belittle it by even saying all that about it. Like, I do think that that's brilliant, but he's still making a great action movie. Because, like, no gunshot or gun bullet hits on objects or, like, windows or anything look as good as they do in a John McTiernan movie.
Yep.
Because that helicopter blasting that building's windows looks fucking real.
Yes.
You know, I don't know, man. Like, even, like, real car crashes, real explosions. You have all that in John McTiernan
Everything was
movies.
real.
It's
Except
like
for
on top of it commenting on itself. I think that he's making a great action. It's in the fucking title. You know, how are you gonna not? It's really good.
The Leo the fart thing felt like kind of forced, but at the same time it does. But it does. But then in the same vein, like, how can you call it forced? Like, we're commenting on the silliness,
and that's maybe where this movie struggled back in the day.
Yeah,
is because people are just like, "Is this funny? What is this? Is this action? I don't understand what's happening."
When everybody pulls out a gun at that funeral, and
even
like
grandma.
Oh my gosh, dude, it's very, very funny. And he says, "Is there a doctor?" There's just a guy who's like, "I'm a doctor."
Damn it!
Wait, you are a doctor? He's like, yeah. He's like, okay, well, check his breath. Bull. It's great. Him falling into the tar pits, though.
Yep.
I remember this wholeheartedly.
Do you think tar pits were going to be a bigger deal in life?
Oh my god, dude, you have no idea. I literally did.
Quicksand.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Like I thought, yes, tar pits were in cities.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I did.
Dude, they're on the side of the road.
Yeah, like I just thought they were just like an attraction that you can go to, but like you could fall into. Same with sand pits.
They're like just outside
Quicksand.
of all BPs. That's where the tar pits are.
Yeah, because how else are they going to get gas, and oil?
Totally.
They have to convert it somehow from something. But like the fart that happens in that, and like they watch it build up, is very, very funny to me. I don't know. Like as a kid, I thought that was the funniest thing on earth.
Awesome.
It's great.
Oh,
Well, let's hit the final scene. So Benedict uses the ticket to enter the real world and hatches a plan to bring movie villains with him to cause chaos. Jack and Danny follow him, and Jack is unhappy with how things work in the real world. They find out that Benedict is planning to kill the real world Arnold Schwarzenegger, and they go to stop him at the Jack Slater movie premiere. They kill Benedict, but Jack is injured. He returns to the movie world to save his life. This is a fun juxtaposition for me, and it happened earlier, and it happens again. This idea of L.A. to New York,
Yeah.
and especially when he wakes up in the back seat, is gross, dark New York to sunny California. I love that
good point.
difference
Yeah.
because now they're in the real world, and it's just even the movie characters are like, whoa,
Yeah.
what is this place? It's
Well,
cool.
and like Benedict is even taken aback by this as
Yep.
we see him like walking along the streets. I think it's important to note that when we realize, I think this is one of the most subtle and one of the best fourth wall breaks in any movie ever, to be completely honest with you, is after he goes in and he kills Vivaldi and he's like, "Oh, you did a 360 on me." It's a 180, you idiot. He's like, "You know what? Just trust me." Boom, kills the guy. But then he walks back and casually he starts talking to us. Like,
Yeah.
as a kid, I didn't even realize it. I thought he was just commenting to himself. In this moment, you see another gaffe when he walks past all the mirrors, and you can see camera people
Are you
No
kidding
shit.
me?
in the mirrors.
God dang it.
Go back and watch really fast as he's talking. You can see the camera crew, like, and the cable guy, like, just walking past in the mirrors.
God dang it.
It's
man.
phenomenal. And you're like, again, did they do this on purpose, or is it a commentary of him breaking the fourth wall again?
Guess
Yeah.
You'll never
You'll
know.
never know. That's maybe why it's Kubrick's favorite movie.
Honestly, yeah, you're definitely probably right. Yeah, it is. Yeah, just the meta nature of it. Yeah.
Because anything that you come up with, there's a reason for it that I can tell you.
Yeah.
Because I want to. I think it's genius, man.
it's really good, and like even Charles Dance as his character is fucking incredible.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me, I have shot somebody, and I did it on purpose.
And I would like to confess. Hello.
It fires off 2 more rounds.
And it's funny when it clicks. He's like, "Oh,
But, like,
shit!
Yeah.
The bad
even-
guy can win here."
Yeah.
Even on top of that too, like imagine being that
His
guy.
shoes?
Yeah, you're like, "What?"
I got killed by a fictional character that's
Using a magic ticket from Houdini.
the bad guy that's in the Jack Slater movie. I was killed by. Like, how do you explain this?
You can't.
After
You're
all
dead.
this
You
is
can't
said and
explain
done.
it.
Yeah. His walk up into that is maybe the most sinister thing ever. It's like, "Excuse me, I was wondering if you could help me." He was like, "Yeah, sure, what's going on?" "Well,
Yeah, that's a loud gunshot
that's
too.
a big gunshot. That's
Yeah.
a big gun." Like, yeah, it's, how do you explain that? Well, what killed him? A 357 Magnum? Jeez. Who's carrying that cannon around here casually? You're right. Like, there's just, he just sees this world as like his oyster.
Yeah. I mean, like, and it's, I totally forgot. I was watching this, obviously, again for this show, and totally forgot that he goes and gets the Ripper.
Yeah,
Like,
so
it is so
did
smart.
so he's bringing the Ripper from the movie.
Yeah.
But didn't the Ripper die in the movie? So he just went to a different point of the movie?
Probably.
Probably did. They were showing the movie,
Okay.
and so he can go into that
yeah.
universe. Essentially, is what we have to assume, because Danny went
Okay.
into the universe of
Yes.
Jack Slater 4.
Right.
Yes.
He went
okay.
into the universe of Jack Slater 3.
Oh, okay. I like that. I was just trying to. I didn't care. I was like,
No,
whatever,
I know. Yeah, like that's the kind of the idea. But he finds him just at some midway point, maybe in a
Yeah.
bar.
It's a great reveal too of the shot, just kind of slowly creeping. You see Charles Dan or
Yeah.
Benedict, and it's just like, I'm so glad you're here. You can help me out. I really think you have some unfinished business, and it's fucking time. It's so good. I love that as a device. I'm like, of course you get your team together. Yeah, it's really cool.
I'll tell you what. This might be the movie for me that takes it over the top to where I can honestly say Arnold Schwarzenegger is an incredible actor.
Yeah,
he. I mean, you say what you want, like, funny Arnold. He's got the, he's bodybuilder Arnold, action star. He's a really good actor.
Yeah.
And this scene where, I mean, we have to assume Arnold and his mom boned.
Oh
right?
yeah, they definitely
like where it's PG-13. We're not talking about it, but there's some boning.
She got magical movie dick.
She
yeah.
did.
Oh yeah.
But
sprinkle dust.
Yeah.
Definitely.
or is it like Barbie? Like they don't actually have genitalia.
Oh god.
They're not really.
No. Maybe that's why they just talked.
Yes.
What we talked.
We talked. No, and they bone in.
No,
movies,
they.
Yeah.
It's just
the
as
way
good
that
as
mom
sex.
was like floating around that apartment. She got
But
magical.
Even that, when he's like talking about the music, I was just like, you're a really good actor. I want you to be my guy I hang out with.
Why didn't you tell me? What's this I hear about you skipping school to go to the
He's
movies?
assuming the dad role already.
Yeah, he's like he's taking over this father figure, which is again another trope.
Yes,
Oh,
it is. He just flies right into it. He
it's
goes, I
great.
got it.
No, it is the real world when they're walking down the street though, and he says to him, well, that's the movies. Like, well, I don't know. They always show up and they try to kidnap me, or they always leave clues. It's like, this isn't the real world.
Yeah.
And it's like, and in this world, you're just, and he says, just what? You're just a guy. Yeah, you might still have all the teachings and detective and like all these cool aspects, and you're still like strong as shit, but you're still just a guy. You can die here, and I think that was a hard moment there. I thought it was weird that he was just wearing that hat though.
He was trying. I think they didn't want people to think he was Arnold Schwarzenegger. Right?
Oh, is it like this is like a disguise?
This is a disguise. He's
That's
like, put
funny.
this hat on, whatever.
The shot when he does do.
He put that disguise on thinking that's how you would disguise himself in a
movies.
movie.
Yes, in the movies you do. Exactly.
He's
like, oh, you just wear a hat.
It's like Clark Kent
Kent
with the glasses. Okay, I get it. Yeah.
You look nothing alike.
Put on a hat, and that's it.
Totally different
By the
person.
way, oh my gosh, he rips it off later. He's like, where am I sitting? Where am I
See,
sitting?
I told you.
Oh! Damn it. That's fucking funny. I didn't even realize that.
The chicken scene in the real universe
Yes.
is a great
It's so
shot
good.
because he takes off for real and goes like it's just all in one shot. But I was wishing it was going to be all in one shot, but it cuts back to Danny after they crash of him running toward it, and then it cuts back to again where they could have put real Arnold.
Yep.
I just wish it was like all in one because it would have been so fucking cool.
If
Like
he was actually in there.
like that, it's just a great shot in general. But if it was like actually real, that'd have been so amazing.
Dude, can we just say, that is a moment I laughed out loud.
Yes.
And I laughed hard, and I rewound it 3 times
Just the way
upon
he
rewatch.
gets out, he's like, oh fuck.
Oh, that really hurt.
Never fucking
like-
feels like that.
No, it's like, this is the real world. You can't play chicken here. You can't do it. And he's just like, "Err," and you see the entire long shot. It's just,
it's equivalent to the car
run
crash
into each other.
when the dude crashes his car into the dumpster.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in American Graffiti. Oh my
it's
God.
so funny. Like, I laughed so hard at that moment. You're right. He just gets out. He's just like, damn it. Like, why did it hurt?
Yeah, and you can't talk about this movie without the cameos. I mean, this is just from this movie premiere out, it is just, there are so many, if you start reading through the credits, there's people you didn't even know that were in the movie.
Yeah.
No, yes.
Karen Duffy was in it. I didn't see her. I mean, even the Chevy Chase thing is so funny to me because you don't even see his face.
He's walking with Damon Wayans.
And he just goes, and that's it.
gets pushed out of the way, and like, there's nothing about it. They don't linger on it at all.
Yeah.
Danny DeVito's Officer Whiskers.
Yes.
Didn't know that.
Great, like little cameo
MC
lines.
Hammer, just nonstop people. That is just it's so great. This is what would happen in modern day movies, but it never stuff like this didn't happen back then. All
No.
these cameos and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, geez.
And again, I think it's just a point. I think it's great directing to not linger on these other stars because you're just in Hollywood. You're at a red carpet event. All these people are supposed to be here.
Yep.
It's normal.
They're already there anyway.
Don't linger on them.
I love the actor version of Arnie. You know,
and Maria Shriver.
Just, yeah. Just him like getting interviewed by the press. He's like, in this movie we only killed 89 people, and the last one we killed 119. I just want the action fans to know there's a lot of emotion.
Yeah.
in this one. No, there's not.
Wanted to replace it with like the emotion and the character depth and like
after 4 or 5 movies, you're like, oh, we're gonna make people feel something. Now.
Yeah.
Like, no,
Now
you're
it's
not.
time. Yeah.
He's just trying
No.
to sell the movie.
It's like when Halloween went to Blair Witch 3 and Halloween 3 and they're like, hey, we're just going to change it up. No, we're not. We're going to go right back to what people want.
That
you know
didn't
what? Shouldn't have done that.
Shouldn't have done that. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Talking about the Planet Hollywood restaurants and stuff. He's just Arnold is just such a businessman, you know, in the end.
And it's so great of him to he's making fun of himself in this movie.
Yeah.
I think that's
in multiple facets.
Yeah.
He's making fun of himself and he's like, yeah, I love it.
I think
It's amazing.
I think the comment on like even the small comment on Stallone being Terminator 2.
So good.
I think it's a funny comment about how like he goes up. Everybody says like Terminator 2 that it was his best work.
Yeah.
And like him walking up and saying, "What? It was his best." Like, are you serious? He was amazing in this. This is his best work. It's like that everybody says it about him. I think it's phenomenal, man.
Yeah, and you got the rooftop standoff, brings it all back around.
Yeah.
Again, I want to be critical and be like, that electrical current's not going to stop. It's still going to be a live wire. Never mind. I just keep putting my notepad down.
Who cares?
Like, don't even care. And I'll tell you what, one of the funniest moments I've ever seen in any movie in my entire life is when he runs and does that flying jump kick into the tickets.
Oh, I know. Like,
I don't know why. That's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
why did he have to drop kick the ticket box?
I don't know. He's death is here. He's like, I checked for the other ticket, and he just goes, bah! It's just like flying jump kicks into the ticket box.
It's true.
You could have just walked up to him and been like, here, let's open this up.
Yeah. Sir Ian McKellen, by the way, is Death.
I didn't get a lot of this.
Did he play Death in a movie then?
No, he was. They were. It's
No.
the Seventh Seal, which is
Is
and
that-
there's surprisingly amount of people for a late night screening of the Seventh Seal. By the way,
I was just going to say that. I was
Ingmar
like,
Bergman is a director, but
the most unrealistic thing about this was how many people were at the screening for that movie. Let's be real.
it's a great movie, but not that.
Come
late
on.
night.
He creeps me the fuck out. He's probably the best
What-
death
what
I've
did
ever
this-
seen in film.
Oh, the
Yeah,
Ripper.
No, Death.
Death.
Ian
Okay.
McKellen.
Ian McKellen.
What? This confused me. I'm like,
Yeah.
what does this have to do?
It really has nothing to do with the movie, other than being like, let's get another person in the movie.
I guess
It doesn't have anything to do with it other than like the power of the ticket, I guess.
Well, no, it's kind of his comment about he's not on any of my lists.
Yeah.
I was curious to be like, he's just like, why is there a human being in the world that is not going to die?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's sort of a weird commentary on that, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
but you're right. But also, if he's Death from a movie, then why is Danny on his list?
Yeah.
yeah.
Shouldn't Jack Slater be on his list? I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
whatever.
I guess different universes, whatever. But like I say, it is a weird thing.
It didn't really make sense. It's cool that it's Ian McKellen.
Yeah.
That's really
He
it.
creeps me the fuck out when he
Yeah.
walks by and taps the guy on the shoulder. You're like, okay,
Yeah,
creepy. Got it.
I like it though because there's no reason to ever fear death, because he's actually just here to make sure the people that go when they go.
Yeah, that's really it.
Interesting.
Your time to go.
It's like,
Sorry.
I guess that's the only time you should fear him because it's your time to go.
And
Yeah.
there's nothing you can do to change it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a cool wrap up too. I like how he's like doesn't want to go back.
Yep.
But he's Danny doesn't want him to go back. It's like Edward Furlong and
Yep.
Terminator 2,
Yep.
where it's like, I'll always be here, Danny. You can just see me at the screen, which is also another comment on like these movies comfort him.
Yep.
These movies are his safe place, and Jack feels like his friend, and now he is his friend, and he got to experience all of that. And it's cool just to comment on movie going experiences and
what the movies do.
in
Yep.
general. Just, I go to the movies. That's my church, man. Like it's nothing can get in the way of that.
Yeah.
I'll always be good when I go see a movie. Like shut my brain off for an hour, 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoy the way that this movie actually wraps up. The double standoff essentially on the rooftop, I think is great. I think it shows the sinisterness of both villains. Him getting shot and Danny committing Grand Theft Auto with an ambulance. That's fine.
Yeah.
Whatever. But it's funny because in the end they get him back into the movie. It's like, what is this? Some kind of joke? It's barely a flesh wound.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And I think that that's very funny, and it's a classic thing, and it's another classic almost trope of him riding off into the sunset.
Yep.
And
God, I let in the
you know,
wave.
the
I just
wave.
like that. Yep, love it.
But
Yep.
but the way that this movie has been going the whole time, why wouldn't it wrap up in that heartwarming way? You
Yep.
know, yeah.
It's pretty awesome. Is that all you guys got? You wanna
all I
wrap?
got.
Okay. Well,
So,
we have
man.
done this with a modern eye. It is time to give it a modern day rating. Did I start with you last time, Sean? No, I started with AJ, didn't I?
don't know.
I think I'm gonna start with Sean.
Okay.
Sean, what is it?
Great John McTiernan movie, great Arnold movie, great meta movie. I think this movie really just kind of has it all, and it's a shame that it didn't really perform when it could have. I think that this movie needs a resurgence. I think Spider-Man, No Way Homes, and shit like that are all taking from this. I think that it's completely original and way ahead of its time. And on top of that, it is just a fucking super fun movie. 8.2.
8.2 for Sean. AJ, what about you?
This there's
Did I say the names wrong? Did I say Sean? And I thought I said that's an 8.2 from AJ. Sean, what
Did
about
you
you?
really?
I don't know. We're gonna have to go back to the tape
We
on
are
that one.
fucked.
back
We've
to
been
the
here
tape.
a long time.
You know what AJ has to say is
AJ's talking.
the Last Action Hero. I held off on. This is one of those movies that I held off on watching until we came around to do it. And
You knew we'd get to it.
I
eventually.
knew we'd get to it because I think it's a movie that is made for us to be able to review. And that being said, it held a lot of nostalgia, in my head, in my heart, of thinking about this kind of funny take on an action movie. And now rewatching it, it makes perfect sense. The action sequences of this movie are top tier, actually, and the only thing that makes them almost comical is how far they take it. And I think for them to be able to take it that far, comment on it, be completely aware of what they're doing, completely aware of the cast that they have and the people that are in this movie, and watch this unfold, and then some of the special effects even too that go into it. Man, I'm all in on this movie. I think it's a fantastic watch. I think there's a moment that there's 8 minutes too long.
Yep.
There's 8 minutes of this that could have been cut.
Yep.
And that's about it. And I think that really says something about a movie like this, guys. So for me, somebody who is as huge of an action movie fan, gun 'em down action movie fan, I love this commentary and the way that they did this and they put it together. I gotta agree. I think I'm up there. I'm in the 8s. I am going to go for an 8.55.
Nice.
8.55. I love it. Hey, as my first watch, I know for a fact that this movie will only get better and better for me. It was just a very fun first watch. I totally agree with everything said. I did have a problem with the length of the movie. There were a lot of we didn't talk much about it, but they were editing this up until the day it came
That's
out.
right. Yeah.
There's some problems for me. There are some scenes that are too long that should have been cut. There's some things that should have gotten cut out of it. I can understand why that could maybe add to this shouldn't have been over 2 hours. If this is a spoof, it's fun,
Right.
That is my only problem with the movie. I love Arnold in this. I love what they were doing. I very much enjoy this. I'm going to go 7.7 on this.
Nice.
And we got to go to Bud Larsen, executive producer. He says, I have this on Vudu. I watched this with my 2 boys. My son thought it was funny that Jack Slater would need to carry 6 guns and 2 blades. Just a few questions. I noticed when Benedict shot the bullseye in the beginning of Jack Slater 4, he shot left-handed. But his left eye, the aiming eye, is the glass eye. So this guy can shoot bullseyes without even looking at the target? I thought with all the explosions, this must be a Michael Bay movie. Nope, not Michael Bay. So the only thing you need to do is have someone go through the windshield of an ice cream truck and it explodes. Or when they play chicken, as soon as the red truck hits some boxes and goes airborne, the truck just bursts in flames.
It's
Fucking great.
Are you sure this isn't a Michael Bay film? My 9-year-old noticed this one. How many bullets are in his magazine of his Desert Eagle? We counted at least 21 shots when he shot at Benedict's car. So I did some research. According to imfdb.org, Maybe the F's not supposed to be in there.
Firearms?
Maybe.
All right.
Jack's Pistols is Desert Eagle Mark 7, chambered in 357 Magnum, not 50 AE like I figured. It has a maximum bullet capacity of 9 rounds. Sean, don't even give me shit about this. In short, there is no way.
I'm just kidding.
In short, there's no way he could have fired 21 plus rounds without having to reload multiple times. I like how Benedict breaks the fourth wall. It's too bad this movie wasn't more popular. I would watch this again. I also own the soundtrack on CD and have it on my Spotify playlist. Most punchable face is John Practice.
Yeah, we have it too.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Here,
Heck yeah.
let's put it right there real quick.
Yeah.
Most punchable face is John Practice. That's a good one.
Nice.
Prop from the movie would be the music player that Jack has in his Bonneville. There you go,
Nice.
Mike.
Well
Mike
done.
mini disc. Was that something that was supposed to be after cassette tapes but before CDs? I think it was technically after CDs is what it was. But my modern day rating is an 8. So that takes us to an 8.11.
Let's go.
You want to know where that falls in? Wow. My friends, that is falling in a tie in the 33rd spot with Happy Gilmore.
Wow.
Nice.
Right below Ghostbusters, Bill and Ted's, right above The Matrix and The Karate Kid and Beetlejuice.
No kidding.
This is above The Matrix.
Holy shit.
Which tells me, we're gonna do a quick thing here. That tells me somebody came in a little low on their
You
Matrix.
both did.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Oh, we did, didn't we?
I came in low on the Matrix?
Okay.
AJ's a 7.3. Mike is
I'm
a
a 7.
7.46.
No, I'm just a 7 apparently. That's
Damn,
what.
Oh, okay.
I was
weird.
a 7.3. I think you
Weird.
guys mixed up. I was an 8.3.
Well,
I was
maybe
a
maybe
9
make a better movie. I
9.5.
guess.
Yeah, you're right.
All right.
You're right. Make a better movie, God.
Well, we hope you enjoyed this episode. Thanks for being here. Next week, we're diving full in on Christmas mode. We are talking about Die Hard because our Patreon members voted it as a Christmas movie.
right.
It is a Christmas movie,
Yep.
followed by Jingle All the Way. We're
Let's
just sticking
go.
with it.
This is
Who
a
told you you
turbo
could eat
man.
my cookies?
Also, if you're new to the podcast, go back this time last year. Ready? Kindergarten Cop. Live from the inside of the Goonies house in Astoria. That is
Hell
a
yeah.
fun episode. Go give it a listen.
'Tis the season of Arnold. Am I right, guys? All right. Thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate. If you want to leave us a little Christmas gift this year, leave us a little 5 stars under the tree, huh? How about that? Huh? Also, feel free to put a bow on it with a review. Writing us a review, 5 stars, Apple, Spotify, whatever, comment on our social medias. Find us on social media, guys. It's completely cool. You can find us there, Confused Breakfast, at Confused Breakfast. Of course, we got YouTube. Please come hang out with us on YouTube. We'd love to hear you there.
You can go to confusedbreakfast.com and see our merch that we have. You can get some shirts. We're going to update that here soon. You can get some hoodies. You can get some buttons, stickers. And then you can go to Not Your Father's Beer shirts on Instagram and get some koozies. Official Steve Koozer koozie. Some fun stuff there. And then go to the same damn website, see the ratings we've done for the movies we have covered, see AJ's ratings, see my ratings, and see Mike's ratings. And then the show's ratings overall. Goodbye, I love you. Happy Christmas.
Support our sponsors. Support us directly. Patreon.com/ConfusedBreakfast. We are produced by the Upload Media Group in Cedar Rapids. We got Logan on the controls.
Woo, Yule
Logs. And we are on the Cloud 10 iHeart Podcast Network. Learn more at cloud10.fm. That's it for us. I'm going to pee. Goodbye.
I gotta pee too.
Run, go, Pete.